And welcome back to Beerfield Fantasy Football Shots, your daily source for news and whatever the hell else we feel like talking about. Brought to you by the Beerfield Fantasy Football Podcast. I am today's host at Hop BFF with two P's. It is Friday, September 22nd, 2017. That means we got news for you, as always, and we got some DFS. We've also got a podcast that's going to launch tonight as our recording schedule is thrown a little bit off. You can find that on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you decide to get your podcast at. As always, like, subscribe, let us know what you think, and you can follow the show on Twitter at BeerfieldFF. And with all that being said, let's get into the news. All right, there's a lot of it today. Starting with the Vikings, quarterback Sam Bradford has been ruled out for Sunday with a bruised knee, so he's still ailing. It'll be Case Keenum again, so downgrade all Viking starters. If you're looking for a streamer, if you own Sam Bradford, don't think many people do, but if you do, Jay Cutler, Trevor Siemian, Carson Palmer, Carson Wentz, all streamable options with some upside. Back to the Zeke saga, because nobody's sick about this. The NFL is appealing Zeke's suspension, or their appeal to remove the temporary injunction for Zeke's suspension will be heard October 2nd. So Zeke's going to be good for weeks 3 and 4, and likely the rest of the season. Melvin Gordon was limited at practice Friday with a knee injury. He is expected to play, so my guess is they're just protecting him, but he'll be the workhorse again this week. For the Packers, Randall Cobb's not likely to play week 3 against the Bengals, and Jordy Nelson is questionable. So there's a huge boost to Devontae Adams, especially with no Cobb. Geronimo Allison will play, so if you need a late dart throw, Geronimo Allison's your guy, but Randall Cobb looking like he's not going to go. Jordy Nelson's going to be hobbled, so this should be a Devontae Adams game. For the Titans, Derrick Henry is expected to have a big workload regardless of DeMarco Murray's status. DeMarco Murray is questionable with a hamstring, so Derrick Henry looks like he's going to be locked and loaded. You can actually start him this week. I'd expect them to try to protect Murray with a second good back and not get him hurt long term if the hamstring is still bothering him, even if he can play. Bears running back Jordan Howard is no longer listed on the injury report. Good news for Jordan Howard owners. Tariq Cohen still got a safe floor, so I don't know if that impacts a whole heck of a lot. He should play. Hopefully he's more effective than we've seen him early on in the season. As reported earlier this week, Rob Gronkowski's groin is good to go, and he is ready for Houston, so lock and load your Gronks. Not so good to go. Jordan Reed's questionable with the injury to about every body part imaginable. I think it's chest, knee, toe, head, shoulders, knees and toes, whatever. Jordan Reed's questionable to play. Vernon Davis, if he can't go, I would just look elsewhere. For the Panthers, Kelvin Benjamin's no longer on the injury report, so he's locked and loaded, good to go against the Saints with no Greg Olsen. Should have a big game. Moving back to the Dolphins, Devontae Parker and Jay Ajayi both returned to practice on Friday. They should both be good to go this weekend and should both be very startable against the Jets. For the Panthers, Cam Newton's listed as questionable for week 3 against the Saints with ankle and shoulder injuries. I would expect him to go and have a very, very good day going against a weak Saints defense and a Saints offense that has just not been good on the road for a while. They are playing them at home. For the Seattle Seahawks, Jimmy Graham will be a game-time decision. However, all signs point to Jimmy Graham playing. Jimmy Graham's been largely ineffective for the past couple weeks of the season, or the first couple weeks of the season, rather. So I'd be looking for other options over him if you can find them. If not, go ahead and start him. They've got to get it right eventually, but just not an attractive option right now. Speaking of broken tight ends, Tyler Eifert will miss week 3 officially, so he's already in midseason form for missing games due to injury. If you need a Tyler Eifert replacement, Coby Fleener, Jack Doyle, Evan Ingram, all streaming options, all should have decent weeks. For the Giants, Odell Beckham Jr. has been removed from the injury report. This is good news, especially as his play this week should increase from the very limited role he had last Monday, so Odell owners rejoice. For the Ravens, Terrence West returned to practice Friday after hip problems. This still would appear to be Buck Allen's job. If West plays, he'll mix in. I think they try to protect him some, but Buck Allen should have the higher workload anyway, as he had in the first 2 weeks. For the Rams, Sammy Watkins and Tavon Austin both entered concussion protocol after last night's game. We'll wait further update on them. Sammy Watkins especially looked very, very good in that game. Back in Detroit, Dwayne Washington is expected to miss multiple games with leg injuries. Got some soft tissue issues going on, so Zach Zinner should draw in for the goal line work. It's worth noting that Amir Abdullah typically does get removed when they're down in the red zone, so Zach Zinner will have touchdown upside if nothing else. Sticking with running backs, Marlon Mack of the Colts will not play Sunday. This makes Robert Turbin Frank Gore's primary backup. Not a whole lot of news here. He was Gore's primary backup anyway. For Steelers, the road dog Jesse James is cleared to play against the Bears on Sunday, so he should be good to go. Should be a high-end streamer. Tight ends are just gross. And for the Patriots, Danny Amendola is expected to play against the Texans. Dorsett and Hogan are both questionable. Rex Burkhead is not expected to play. So this is shaping up like it could be a very, very big James White game as they try to find their foot running and out of the passing game as well. So Amendola definitely helps with that over the middle. Don't know how limited he is or isn't going to be. I would just try and steer clear if I could. Anyway, that's all the news that we got for you today. Be sure to check out the DFS episode, which I'll be recording right after this. That should be posted at about the same time. Check out the podcast, Beerfield Fantasy Football, on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you feel like going. And I will catch you guys next time.